The full story from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Super, what if stories, local multiplayer modes, and even the new custom battle mode where you can create your own stories in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, again back to more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news. And without wasting too much time, let me explain what I mean by the custom battle mode very quickly. Now, in one of the many tabs for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, there is Create, Play, and Share. Keep in mind, this is what it says. And it says, recreate your favorite battles from throughout the Dragon Ball story, or set up your dream story battle with your favorite characters. Share your creations with other fans and experience the battles brought to life by imaginations around the world. There is actually a new mode, and by custom battle, we don't mean, oh, pick the characters and pick the stage. This is a fully customized battle where you can actually create a story for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm assuming it's kind of like, you know, what other games have, like Doom Snap Maps and Halo Forge World, right? And they put a cutscene by it, so I'm assuming you can even add cutscenes into this. Another thing that puts further emphasis on custom battle being a thing that you can fully customize is later down as we go along the page, they do mention that custom battle introduces a new element to experiencing Dragon Ball as a game. So no Dragon Ball game has had this previously. We know this isn't the regular 1v1s and 2v2s and team battles. This is an entirely new thing Dragon Ball games have never had, where players can try their hands at a match imagined by the developers or create their own battle situations and share it around the world. So you can actually, and I can't even begin to like explain how insane this is, people can create their own battles and just share them with the world of Dragon Ball. Someone could create a really unique scenario where maybe you have to use Hercule to fight every single person in the Tournament of Power, and then so on and so forth. And by the way, this is basically a fan-made, like fans can create their own what-if stories now. We can finally have Goku trapped and betrayed in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber in an official Dragon Ball game. I'll continue on with that, but let's go on about the story. Now, we know Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's story actually is going to go from Dragon Ball all the way to DBS. Thankfully, Dragon Ball is actually getting a shout out. I was really worried that Dragon Ball would get skipped, because Dragon Ball usually gets skipped. It usually starts at DBZ, then goes to Super, but luckily we can actually play through the Dragon Ball story, which is really cool. The best thing I think about this is not only can we play through the Dragon Ball story, we can also experience many what-if modes. Hercule was also in the Tournament of Power. Now, keep in mind, this could just be, you know, animations from their super attacks when they're playing on those stages, but considering it came after they talked about custom stories, it does sound very interesting. We already know a few confirmed changes from the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero story mode is obviously Goku saving Krillin against Great Vegeta and becoming the Super Saiyan right there in the Saiyan Saga, as well as Vegeta and Trunks doing a father-son final flash to beat Perfect Cell. So who knows what we'll have for the Buu Saga, what we'll have for the Golden Frieza arc, what we'll have for Battle of Gods, etc, right? There's so many insane stories here. We could even get a version of the Goku Black arc where Vegito actually beats Fused Zamasu. I'm curious to see how many things they'll borrow from Xenoverse, because I feel like Xenoverse, especially with its most recent DLC, actually had a very interesting idea as to what, you know, you could use for a what-if version of a Dragon Ball story, such as what if Vegeta became the first Super Saiyan God instead and fought Beerus. I think that would make for a pretty interesting what-if. We already know that it's a selection, so you could choose if you want to do the what-if version or the regular version. Personally, when I play through Sparking Zero the first time, I'm going to be starting with the what-if version. It's something we've never seen before, so I think that's what I want to do. And local multiplayer has been confirmed. Now, it was confirmed already, but after it was confirmed, they actually rolled it back to single player, which made everyone think, oh, they weren't going to do multiplayer, like local multiplayer. But then after the trailer came out, they changed it back to local multiplayer. PlayStation probably leaked it a bit earlier than normal, which is why everyone found out so early before it was actually confirmed in the trailer. So yes, local multiplayer is back in Dragon Ball games. Very good to know, because we can actually play with our friends and family at home, rather than having to like buy a separate Xbox for the house just so you can play with like your brother or something. So as the Blaze a New Path tab says, it says conquer the action-packed battles from the beloved original story or discover and unlock new encounters for your favorite Z fighters, meaning everyone has access to these what-if stories. It's not just Goku. Any of the 8 playable main characters you can obviously use would have access to all of these stories. And I think what's interesting is that the 8 playable main characters are potentially the characters we see right here in this like tab. We see Goku as number 1, we see Trunks 2, Piccolo 3, Krillin 4, Tien and Yamcha as 5 and 6, and Teen Gohan or Gohan as 7. And I imagine 8 would obviously be Vegeta, but he's not in this shot during the Blaze a New Path. But this shot, I think, is supposed to show the options you'll have available for the story. Keep in mind, characters like Trunks will still be relevant because Trunks will probably have his own version of the Buu Saga where he has to fight Babidi and Deborah. That is a canon event that happens. That's why he's still alive by the time the Goku Black arc happens, right? Then you would obviously get to play as Trunks in the Goku Black arc. And Piccolo is a relevant character in, you know, pretty much every Dragon Ball arc. Tien has a lot of good moments in Dragon Ball. Yamcha, not so much, but I feel like Yamcha's playable moments will shine in the original Dragon Ball story and in the early Z parts of the story. Gohan, relevant throughout all of Dragon Ball as well. Goku, the main character, and Vegeta also relevant throughout all of Dragon Ball. So I think during the Blaze a New Path tab, this is actually all the playable characters you would get to play. It's very convenient that they would mention, you know, playable characters, and it's exactly 8 people here, excluding Vegeta, but we know Vegeta's gonna get in, come on. Now, I will go through this page again because all this information is actually pretty relevant. Bandai Namco Europe has revealed that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the first entry in the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series in 15 years, will be released on October 11th, 2024. Now, keep in mind, if you have pre-ordered the game any edition higher than standard, whether it be Deluxe, Ultimate, or Premium Edition, you can play the game on October 8th. And the game will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. I know recently for PC, it was actually confirmed that if you are a Japanese player or if you live in Japan, you can actually play the game on PC. The game is now available for both physical and digital pre-orders, developed by Spike Chunsoft, known for their work on previous Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero lets players get into an epic battle alongside legendary characters from this series. Episode Battle will let players pick one of 8 characters and relive key battle moments in the Dragon Ball saga. The Custom Battle introduces new elements to experiencing Dragon Ball as a game where players can try their hand at a match imagined by the developers or create their own battle situations and share it with the world. A new trailer also reveals new additions to the playable roster, being Dragon Ball Super Goku Ultra Instinct, Gohan Adult, Super Saiyan 2, Golden Frieza, Bardock, Raditz, Goku Black, Zamasu, Jiren at full power. So all of the new characters revealed and all the new features revealed for the trailer, as I just stated, are actually substantial stuff. The pre-order bonuses come with many things, but there's a separate video on that linked to the description. The pre-order bonuses also come with many unique things, but I've already made a separate video on that, so link in the description. It includes getting the game early, so I would recommend you watch it. And we know there is a PvP setting or a tournament setting with challenge other players online to test your skills or sit down with friends offline, local multiplayer confirmed again, to hone your skills exclusively in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Fight your way to become a champion across various tournament modes and victory conditions. So just like the original Budokai Tenkaichi games, there will be tournaments, and the tournaments will actually have different rules for them, thank God. Because Cell games, the regular world tournament, the big world tournament, the other world tournament, and the Yamcha games were also really unique in the way they all played differently. I imagine, obviously, we'll be getting the Tournament of Power as a new tournament setting, and I wonder if flying will actually be disabled for that, because Sparking Zero does have characters with running animations and stuff like that. If I recall the original Budokai Tenkaichi games, or at least Budokai Tenkaichi 3, the characters float across the ground, right? Characters don't walk in that game. Even when you're touching the ground, if you move, the characters float. But Sparking Zero, I have seen characters walk and run. So I'm assuming there actually will be a Tournament of Power setting where you will not actually have the ability to gain height advantages unless if you're jumping or it's part of a moveset or something interesting like that, which is something I can't wait to see, you know. And I think that's a good place to end the video. Again, don't forget, we'll be seeing more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gameplay in July during the Jump Victory Carnival, where we'll actually get a staged gameplay demo, meaning if you are at Jump Victory, you'll be able to just play the game itself. And if you're not at Jump Victory, there'll be a stream on YouTube where you can watch everything, or again, keep that bell on for your favorite Dragon Ball channels, including this one. Don't forget to subscribe. So stay tuned, obviously, after you hit the bell, and just await the dates of Jump Victory Carnival, where all the gameplay will be shown. Keep in mind, at the Jump stage demos, they are usually quite long. I imagine more than 15 minutes of raw gameplay, because that's the norm for these stage demos, where we'll get to see stuff like single battles, team battles, maybe even a little bit of the story mode, or the custom battle modes, where people can create their own scenarios. I wonder if people can also make their own cutscenes, because from what it sounds like, it's not just sharing your fights on the internet. It does seem like people can actually experience your fights as well. And that would be really easy to do by just picking the same characters, so it's obviously not the case. I feel like you can create your own custom scenarios as well. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit in that sense, where the game actually had cutscenes as abilities you could use in the middle of combat to trigger special interactions or events of characters, such as, you know, having characters like Krillin and Piccolo be able to throw senzu beans to whichever main character you're playing in the middle of combat. Or if you were a full power Frieza versus a Super Saiyan Goku, a cutscene would trigger that would give you both a buff, because that's just really cool. Either way, I think this is a pretty good place to end the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed the video, then obviously, again, please leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe, it greatly supports the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. I do love you all, and again, subscribe, hit the bell, and stay tuned, okay? Okay. Love you all, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Take care, and Peace.